Testing, testing.
Hey, I hear you.
Jeez, what in the hell's going on out here, man?
Technology sucks.
It does, man. I started a new job on Monday. First of
Did
all,
you?
what whiskey and kicks, man? Brocky, I'm here. We just kind of diving into it because we had some technical difficulties.
Let's go.
Well, what would life be without technical difficulties?
Life would be very boring, but also a lot easier, I believe. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I hear you, man. I got my guy Bill here, man. Straight out of Tennessee, whiskey connoisseur. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. I've got a good whiskey to share with you tonight as we do a little sipping and chatting. I've
Okay.
actually got two whiskeys to share, but good to see you. I love the Bills Flat Bill.
Yeah,
One of my favorite. I'm not a huge Buffalo Bills fan. I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. That's where I grew up, so don't judge, don't hate.
Right.
But I do love the Buffalo Bills uniforms. Just solid, straightaway, great uniforms.
I'll give them that much. I'm from Rochester, New York, so I grew up around a lot of Bills fans, and I just did not take to them. I'm a 49ers fan through and through, and but I couldn't deny this hat.
It's a great hat.
So,
that red just pops off that royal blue.
It jumps out there.
It's got that puff embroidery. I can see that's the industry I'm in. I can see that puff embroidery there.
You know what's going on, Bill. You know what's going on. So, yeah, I was just saying, man, I just started a new job on Monday, and they're using Microsoft 365 for like all their meetings and stuff like that. And I've been having microphone issues all 3 days. Like, it'll start working, so hopefully it doesn't just go out in the middle of this shoot.
Yeah, Microsoft Teams doesn't like Google Hangouts, doesn't like Zoom, doesn't like whatever other, what is it, GoToMeeting. Right. They don't like each other, and I almost believe they intentionally do that. So you just say, oh, screw it. I'll just keep using what I'm using.
Right. They're probably fighting in the background.
Oh, for days.
So I'll go first, man. We'll get to the whiskey.
Yep, let's do it.
Why not? So I have a Midwinter Night's Dram.
Very nice.
One of my absolute favorites. I always have a bottle of this stuff. This is Act 5, Scene 6. I think this is my third bottle so far of Midwinter Night's Dram. And it was High West Distillery. You can't beat it.
You can't. High West Distillery has some really great. They have some really, really great high-end pours, but their mid-tier pours are really good too.
Fantastic.
Their double rye is fantastic. They've got some really good ones. So you know me. I like the rye.
Yep.
I've got the piggyback from Whistle Pig.
Yes.
So what I love about this, a lot of things. What I really love about this, it's 100% rye mash bill. So you really get that spiciness that the rye provides, but it's aged for 6 years in oak barrels. And so what ends up happening, you get this really nice aftertaste of vanilla and the oakiness from the barrels. And at the price point, this is about a $44 bottle of booze. It's not bad at all.
Not bad.
It's as smooth as the day is long. And I'm gonna go ahead and open it up right now, pour it in my glass because I like it neat, Brocky.
Yeah, me too, man. You know how I do it. I do it neat, man.
Nice and neat. Cheers to you, my friend.
I snuck a little sip in, but we're cheers to that. You know what I mean?
There's nothing better than when you can drink a really high, because this is high octane too. This is almost 100 proof. I know that's pretty high octane as well. Yeah. And when you can drink it and you don't have that unpleasant burn that feels like you just drank jet fuel.
There's an art to it.
There is.
There's an art to it. I've had some high proof whiskeys and it was like, this is way too harsh.
Yeah.
For no reason. So there's an art to it. I don't know what that art is. I don't know if the distillers have it in the back of their minds, but it's something to it.
It's the art you and I would learn if either one of us won the lottery and we said, let's open up a distillery and we'll take
right.
While the booze ages for 3 or 4 years, you and I will just sit on the back porch and talk about branding and marketing and figure it all out. So when the booze is ready, we're ready.
Yeah, right. So what's the environment like? What city do you live in, man?
I live in Franklin, Tennessee.
Okay.
So that's about 10 miles south of Nashville.
Okay. Do you guys have a distillery in Franklin?
There's a couple right around here. So I live, like I said, about 10 miles south of Nashville, and then right outside of where I live is kind of the edge of civilization.
Oh, okay.
It's definitely definitely the country, definitely the deep south for both better and worse.
Yeah.
There's a couple towns. There's a distillery in Leaper's Fork.
Okay.
Leaper's Fork is an unincorporated part of Franklin, which where a lot of the beautiful people live. Your Justin Timberlakes, people like that live out there, and they've got a really nice distillery. And then right up the road in Antioch, I think, is Wheeler's Raid Distillery, and they
Okay.
make a really nice both a bourbon and a rye. So there's a lot around here. And then I'm only, believe it or not, and I am a Tennessee Squire, so I do love my Jack Daniels. The Jack Daniels distillery in Lynchburg is only an hour away. And
Uh-huh.
so and then you go beyond that, you have George Dickel and all these, Tennessee. So I'm kind of in the middle of, I'm not in bourbon country. I'm not on the Bourbon Trail in Kentucky,
No.
but I'm on the Tennessee tribe. I don't know what I'm on. So I'm close enough.
Look, man, Tennessee has amazing whiskey.
Yeah, they
Um, I love the whole charcoal filtration thing that's going on out there. So that rye, the Davison that you gave me, I think it's Davison, right? That rye.
Yep, David. It's
Yeah, it's one of,
Pennington Distillery, but that Davidson, the rye. Yep, you're talking about that rye.
yeah, it's one of my favorites. Because you still get that Tennessee
Mm-hmm.
feel to it, and the same goes for the Uncle Nearest
Yes,
thing.
and that Uncle Nearest, and I know you're a fan of that. And for people who don't know the story of Uncle Nearest and Jack Daniels, so Jack Daniels, obviously, this is 150 years ago, 200 years ago, when horrible things were happening in our country and there were horrible policies in place. But Uncle Nearest, who was African American, taught the Motlow family how to distill grains into Tennessee whiskey. So when you enjoy your Jack Daniels, that is Uncle Nearest. That's Nearest Green.
Yeah, that's Nearest Green. Yeah, man. So I got to get out there. When everything,
You do.
whatever the norm is.
And you know what I got to do is I got to nominate you to be a squire, because I know you love the Tennessee whiskey. And what's great when you are a Tennessee squire, you get this little card and you get this little plot of land. Now it's literally like 1 inch by 1 inch on the actual distillery property. Now it's 7 miles high and 7 miles deep, but it's 1 inch by 1 inch.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. Here, I could show you. If this is probably terrible for your thing, but you can see my deed up there. That's my
Oh, wow.
Jack Daniels deed. You get a deed to a piece of property.
That is
And
awesome.
when you go there, you show your squire card. You are, they say, welcome home. You get a special tour. You don't pay for the tour. And it's really kind of a cool little society.
That is dope.
And, you talk about, I know we talk a lot about whiskey, and we'll talk about marketing and branding. We'll talk about whatever. You talk about someone who's created a lifestyle brand. You have your Harley Davidsons, you have your Jack Daniels, and then you have your Also Rans. I mean, those are the two companies that have built lifestyle brands.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I definitely need to get in on that. So how is like COVID affecting your area?
We're a little bit of a hot spot. I have a very simple philosophy on all this. So, little background. So I have 17-year-old twin boys, redheads, who are about to be seniors in high school. And unfortunately, they're not going to experience a senior year in high school like we all had.
No, man.
We've had challenges looking at colleges because they're either closed down or it's a virtual visit, and it's just not the same.
Nope.
And so how it's affected us, it's, I lost my job through COVID. It just economically didn't make sense for them to keep me, and great relations with them. From a family perspective, we're doing okay. We're doing what everybody should be doing. We wear masks everywhere. I'm like I said earlier, I'm a firm believer. If you just wear a mask everywhere, wash your hands, socially distance, we'll probably get through this okay. We could probably have close to a normal lifestyle as we want, but there's enough people out there saying, you can't tell me to wear a mask. I'm not wearing a mask. Yeah. And my response is always, you buckle your seatbelt when you get in a car. because that's infringing on your freedom technically.
Right.
If you want to go down that road.
I
So
mean,
it's been tough, but it's enabled me to. I work from home now. This is my home office. It's enabled me to really slow down a little bit and speak to my kids as men. I think really for the first time, which I've really enjoyed.
yeah.
Obviously they're 17, so they're full of hormones I haven't had in God knows how long, but they're definitely becoming men, and I'm proud of the men that they're becoming, and they ask good questions, and they're very thoughtful, and they're very kind, and they're just good people. And so I'm very proud of that. And so it's affected me like it's affected everybody. You kind of reevaluate every single thing that you're doing, why you're doing what you do, and what does it look like when we all come out of this, because we will. Might be a year, might be 2 years, I don't know. We'll come out of this. What does it look like? What do you want your story to be?
It's interesting, man, because it's definitely a time, like you said, you get closer to the ones that you thought you were close to. You get even closer to those. Like I've been a walker. I'm a walker, right? I don't like to run. I ride my bike. That's my exercise, part of my lifestyle. And for a couple of years, I've been the only guy outside all the time, walking.
Well, now everybody's out there.
Everybody. And it's kind of cool, though, because I see a lot of families together. Sometimes the adult is running or walking and the kids are on bikes or whatever it is, or they're walking together. So it's kind of cool. And, if you really want to look a little deeper into this, maybe it was a bit of a, I don't want to say a reset button.
Yep. No,
in that link.
Actually, I don't disagree with you at all. Actually, I'm right on board with that. I think it's caused all of us to kind of, again, what is our why? Why do we do what we do? It certainly caused me to do that.
Right.
Personally and professionally. Why do I do the things that I do? Why, I said I lost my job. I pushed for that a little bit because I could see what was coming, and we had a great conversation, and it needed to end. I had done what I could do there, and they wanted to go in a different direction, and I was president of the company, and I wasn't on board with ownership, and they deserved someone who was on board with their vision. But I wouldn't have done that without the pandemic.
How about
I wouldn't have sat back and just kind of taken a deep breath and said, what do I like doing? There's things you're good at. Hopefully they align with things you like. And sometimes they don't. And that can be a problem. Mm-hmm. And that was my challenge. And so just because I'm good at producing live content doesn't mean I want to do it 5 days a week.
Right.
And that was the disconnect. And so I think I like the term you used, Brocky, reset button. It is a reset button.
Right.
And life won't be exactly the same.
No, that's a guarantee. I've been saying
and maybe that's okay.
That's fine. Yeah.
Maybe that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to miss not having a football season this year. We're recording this on July 15th. I'm going to say right now, we're not going to have college football. We're not going to have pro football. I'd love it if we did, but we won't. And you know what? That's okay.
Right.
That is okay. Why not? You know what? Hey, maybe we can watch Super Bowls every Sunday, or, we will figure out how to get through the entertainment aspect of it, but maybe it's time to connect with our kids. I remember we got a smart TV, and I know this is a weird analogy, but roll with me for a second. We finally got a smart TV this past Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And so, which meant I could stream YouTube and all that. I'm sorry, I'm old. I bought a TV. It was nice. I'm not going to replace it till it has to go. And so I would sit the kids down and we'd throw on old Monday night footballs from the late 70s and early 80s. And the kids were just so thoroughly entertained. We'd sit there for 3 hours because I got the ones off of YouTube with the commercials.
Oh,
the horrible commercials for the Buick Skylarks.
Wow, those cars, they probably smoking cigarettes in the commercials.
Oh, yeah. The right guard spray on deodorant. I mean, all sorts of weird stuff. And they were enthralled by it. And it was and we really connected over it. I mean, they would, hey, Dad, can we watch another Monday Night Football? And they would enjoy Howard Cosell. They would enjoy that whole dynamic.
Wow.
And that brought us closer together. So I think this is that opportunity, that reset button. We can find ways to connect with our families, our friends. It does suck. I miss hugging people. I miss shaking hands.
Man, it's rough.
It's weird. I was at a friend's business yesterday and meeting a couple people I hadn't met before. And it was so funny. One guy had a gator around his neck. I came in, pulled up his gator, and he said, "Bill, nice to meet you." I'm like, if this isn't 2020, I don't know what is, because no one knows what the hell to do.
Nobody knows, man. Nobody knows. That's hilarious, man. But maybe that's too funny, man. I didn't expect that one.
Now, what about you? You said you started a new job.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I work in IT. So I work in with government contracting.
I knew you did a lot of that. Yep.
On the IT side of the house, doing what's called configuration management. It's boring, dry stuff, but I enjoy it to an extent. And I need this income still to fuel my passion. So, but I had been with one company.
We all have our version of the man, unfortunately.
Yeah. So I got to continue this until, Buffalo Trace or somebody steps up and writes.
They need to step up.
So, but yeah, that's pretty much what I do, man. I had been unemployed since February. People don't know that because I don't broadcast
right.
that. But I was unemployed since February, and to be honest, COVID was like a silver lining for me.
Yeah. Well, and you've done a really great job. I gotta brag on you a little bit. Brocky and I don't know each other that well, but we have a really cool kinship here and a friendship. Yeah. And so I can call Brocky about anything, and we've had some really cool conversations about a number of things, not just booze. And you have done such a great job of kind of moving along and creating content, and I really enjoyed watching your brand grow. And I feel like you're kind of at this precipice of it just exploding, and I love it.
I appreciate that, man. It's crazy because there's been multiple times where I felt like I was on that bubble. But you realize, no, you're not quite on that bubble, but you're approaching it. And, and I kind of feel like I'm there. Like, I feel like it's a good idea. And the conversation that you and I had, it motivated me. And as you can see, I got the Brocky Taste the Booze that's going to be.
You're killing it.
And this is going to be consistent. So, I'll edit this down and put this out on Friday, man. I'm trying to do this every Friday. Shoot
That's
every
perfect. And what you do with that, and here's what I would tell people. I don't care if 4 people are watching this. If you watch this, please do Brocky a favor. It takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of onions to produce content and put it out there for the world to judge and see. I do it all the time. And so I'm going to say something Brocky won't say. Please like, comment, and even if you're inclined, please share it. It's important. It's scary as hell putting out content and you have no idea if it's being consumed, and if it is being consumed, are people digging on it? Are they not liking it? Right. I cannot tell you, as a content creator in my industry, and I work in the promotional marketing industry, it is such a vital fuel source for people like Brocky. So if you like what he does, and I know there's so many of you that do, please comment, like his YouTube page. Brocky has no idea I'm doing this, by the way. He's like going, what the hell's Bill doing? He's nodding his head. Like, comment, and share it. It means a lot. It really does. And it's not a financial thing. It's, hey, it gives people like Brocky and I the fuel to do it next week and the next week and the next week.
Yeah. It's important, man. It feels good to get that support. And I'm fortunate enough to have a good amount of support and whatnot, but we can all do more, baby. Let's go.
There's always more. But seriously, like and comment. I've seen Brocky post this a couple times. I see you people liking it, but I know you haven't watched the video. Right. Brocky's kind of like Santa Claus. He knows exactly what you're doing.
I do, man. I see it. It's like, look, but well, we can get into that whole discussion about people jumping between social media platforms, refusing to jump between. People even refuse to hit a link, many times. And if that link doesn't take them directly to exactly what they want, they don't even want to click 2 links. So we're just getting lazier and lazier. So it's more and more of a challenge for creators.
It is. And so that's why, and you've heard me talk about this, Brocky, I always talk about, how do I remove friction? right? So if I've got 4 clicks, how can I make that 3? If I've got 3 clicks to do something, how do I make that 2?
Yeah,
How
man.
do I make it easy for my audience to get what they want? Because I want them to get what they want. I want to give them what they want.
Right, right.
And I know you're the same way.
Yeah. So in that, since we're here, so let's talk about, you said you lost your job and everything. Bill is like a cat, right? You throw a cat up in the air and boom, they're gonna land, right? So let's talk about what you're doing now, man.
So I have one of my closest friends was my creative director at Promo Corner where I worked before, and she lost her job. I lost my job a few months after, and her and I and her husband and my wife, very good friends, and her and I decided to start a business because what we saw was a gap of, one of the first things that happens in any recession is you fire your marketing people. That's just how it works. They're the first people fired. They're the last people rehired in any sort of recession. And so we know what we do together in terms of not just the ideas, but also the execution of an actual marketing plan is valuable. And we can do it at a fraction of the cost of having a full-time associate with benefits, with insurance and all those things. And so we very quickly decided we're going to start a company. And we took about 3 weeks, designed the website, got our EIN number, got an investor, and we pulled the trigger and we launched on July 6th. Nice. And we already have a few clients and we are rocking and rolling and we're having a hell of a great time.
Congratulations. Like, the website looks good. It all looks great, man. I'm excited about it. And I know you're going to do great things with that.
We hope so. I can show you this. The company's called Brandivate.
Yes.
You got that little, this is a can cooler, so it'll hold your can or your bottle, which is very nice.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
You'll be getting one of these, Brocky. One's in the mail for you.
I'm checking the mail, baby.
Oh yeah. It's one of those things. So the idea is we want to motivate people, we want to innovate, we want to elevate what you do in your marketing. And so I've got such a tremendous partner in Kelsey Cunningham, who what I love about our dynamic. So I'm 50,
okay,
and she's
here,
so I'm 50.
Whoa, here I am thinking that you're younger than me.
Hell no, I'm 50.
Word, okay.
I'm 50 years old, and I'm a white guy. She's 35, white girl, but millennial and just smart as a whip, has totally different ideas. And what I love about her is I'll have an idea and I think, man, that's awesome. And she'll, without missing a beat, she'll say, "You're an idiot. Let me tell you why you're an idiot." And then and 9 times out of 10, she's right. And so we have a really good working dynamic. And so doing this with a partner, doing this where, it's kind of taking that leap together. I mean, we're actually about to start a podcast called What the Hell Are We Doing podcast, nice, where we're going to kind of pull the curtains behind starting a new business, especially in a pandemic. I mean, who does that?
Right.
Who is stupid enough to do that? We are, and we're going to bet on ourselves, and hopefully things will turn out the way we want them to.
They will, man. They will. So what kind of clientele are you targeting besides people with a heartbeat and a bank account?
Yeah. As I told Brocky loves this quote. If you've got a working pulse, if you've got a pulse and a working credit card,
there you go.
You're our ideal client. No, really people who are struggling with getting their story, their messaging across to their target audience and moving them to action. That's the hard thing, right? Every industry is very, very competitive. And so how do you get your message above everybody else's? I think we're really good at that. And so getting that message to that target audience is great, but more importantly, we want to move that target audience to action. So they hear your message. What do you want them to do as a result of that? What emotion do you want them to feel when they see your brand? And what, it's all good. I always talk about 2 things: brand awareness and brand preference. Most marketers love talking about brand awareness. We want to make your audience aware of your brand and so on and so forth. That's awesome. I'm aware of about 85 different soft drinks in the whole world. Mm-hmm. I'm buying Coke. I prefer Coca-Cola.
Right.
So I'm pretty sure the bean counters at PepsiCo up in Purchase, New York, don't care that I'm aware of their beverage when I have no intention of ever buying it because I think it's inferior swill that's way too sweet. I buy Coca-Cola.
Right.
So what we want to do is create brand preference for our clients. Why would someone choose to spend their money with you as opposed to someone else? And so it's a very simple philosophy. How do we get your target audience to want to spend money for you and be a brand advocate for you?
Dope, man. See, y'all getting some game right now, man. Bill just gave y'all game. He's this guy knows what he's talking about. I can attest to that.
Sometimes
over there at promo corner. So
if Kelsey was here, she'd probably go, oh, "You're an idiot."
Yeah, and I was thinking, man, we should have had her in here too. But we
should. She would love it. She knows I'm on here right now. I told her I was doing this. She's like, I want to come drink with you guys. I'm like, hell, come on.
Right. Yeah, next I need to meet her, so that'd be dope, man.
So can I get my second pour? Because I do want to share this with you.
I was just about to say, let's get to the
Sorry, I'm right here. I'm just grabbing it. So this is Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Select.
Okay. Yeah.
First of all, it's a beautiful bottle.
Yes, it is.
A beautiful bottle. It's kind of like an old school decanter, what you'd expect from the 50s.
It sure is.
And so what they do is they select a single barrel, so it's barrel proof.
Mm-hmm. So what is it at?
127.
Woo, buddy. Beautiful.
And I know you like your high octane.
Oh yeah.
And so you open it up, and each barrel has different characteristics. And this is one of those things I always find fascinating, how you buy a mass market whiskey like a Jack Daniel's that has a very distinct flavor, how they blend that together to have a consistent product. It's an art. You talked earlier about an art. That is absolutely an art. So this is a single barrel, so you smell it, and you immediately get those charcoal, because it is charcoal filtered.
Yep.
But man, it's got that real deep amber color. Look at that. That's
Let me tell you,
beautiful.
you want to hear something that no one knows? I've never had Jack Daniels.
What?
I've never had Jack Daniels, dude. I've never had Jack Daniels.
That's okay. I'm gonna recover from my minor heart attack I just had. But here, it's definitely a different taste, right? It's a strange flavor on the whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
It is. I mean, I'll be honest. Strange doesn't necessarily mean bad, by the way.
Of course.
Just like simple doesn't mean easy. Strange doesn't mean bad.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bill.
No, it's just different. So you smell it immediately, and you get that charcoal, but you also get the oak. Because if you know how Jack Daniel's is made, they char the oak barrels right there.
Mm-hmm.
And you get that charred smell and essence. Now it's a little hot.
Yeah.
Being 127.
Yeah.
It's a little hot, but man, it's a smooth hot.
You ever open it up with a drop of water or two?
Every once in a while, but I really love it neat because I really want to taste it the way the master distiller wanted me to taste it.
For sure.
If that makes sense. So this is definitely a sipping with Brocky. I'm not gonna down that because
take your time, brother. Take your time.
I've got to record another podcast tomorrow morning, and I'll be out like a light if I do this straight.
Right.
But this is so. What's cool about these select bottles? They actually give you the RIC number where it was at, the warehouse number when it was bottled, and they give you all the information. So there are people in the Jack Daniel's world that kind of follow. Okay, what does this taste like? What are the subtle differences? Now this one has much more of a spicy flavor than I've had before.
Okay.
So it almost has like a rye mash bill, and I know there's no rye in here at all,
right,
but it's definitely got that spicy character to it.
That's awesome. Can you hold that bottle up in the front?
You bet.
Okay, and then turn it around again. Oh, nice. Okay, so is this bottle itself readily available, or is it kind of like?
It is, and the price point's on it pretty good too. So the price point on that's about $65.
Oh, really? Okay.
Which isn't, and you're getting a barrel proof Jack Daniel's, and
I'm over here thinking maybe that's a couple $100.
No. And again, you have this beautiful bottle. I mean, when
Right.
I finish this, I don't want to throw away the bottle.
Right. I have a friend that can make that into like a citronella candle or tiki torch for you.
Well, and you see, I'll move my microphone right here. You see my Jack Daniels lamp there in the
There
background.
you go. There you go. Yep.
There you
Yep.
go.
Yep.
So
That's dope, man.
what are you sipping on next?
You know what? I'm gonna take it easy because I have to call my son and have a grown-up conversation with him after this. His he's trying to go to college
Right.
and he just found out. So he's going to Fashion Institute of Technology in Manhattan.
That's awesome.
Move your mic over a little bit, Bill. It's a little bit. It's blocking you a little bit.
Here we go.
And so they recently reached out to say, okay, here's our plan for the fall. We're gonna open up. You can move in between these dates. You have to quarantine for 14 days. There's gonna be certain classes offered on campus. There's gonna be, and the rest is gonna be online.
Right.
My son is going to school for photography. So I said to his mom, these classes are not going to be offered online.
Right.
They have to be on campus. This is before we even knew the plan. Well, he just found out that his classes are basically not being offered even on campus.
So it's all online.
I don't know, man. Like, he's photography. So
Yeah.
he was only taking one core class, and that was math. That's it. Everything else is photography center. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen. He's blown right now. You know what I mean? I got to call him up and talk him off the ledge a little bit.
Yeah, I can relate a little bit. So like I said, my kids are looking at colleges right now, and we've told them, look, we don't know what the world looks like in 2 weeks, let alone a year.
Nope.
And so we want you to go to whatever college you want to go to. If you want to do woodworking, do that. We don't care. But they both want to go to college. They want that big college experience, that SEC college experience.
Yeah.
But what we've told them also is, look, if next fall this is not fixed and your stuff's online, you can go to the community college and do that online, live at home, save some money, work a little bit. You'll get your college experience as much as we can give it to you. But I refuse to pay the University of Alabama tuition to take online classes when you can do Columbia State, which will transfer in. I know it sucks.
Yeah.
But that's life.
Right. And the thing about him, I think if he goes and if he stays here and like goes to community college and get those credits are not necessarily going to transfer to FIT because he is a very specific, you know what I'm saying?
With the photography, but maybe there's a way he could do some apprenticeships locally in the DC area and get that real world experience too. I mean, I don't know that world, so I'm speaking like just out of thin air here, but man, we're all of us who are parents, all of us who, it doesn't matter if you're a parent, honestly, I'm sorry. All of us who are living through this, we are navigating this. We have no idea what we're doing.
Yeah, right.
I posted a joke on Facebook the other night and no one took it as a joke, and it really was. And I said, my wife and I are watching the Williamson County School Board meeting, which we did on our TV, like it was Monday Night Football. Mm-hmm. And it was supposed to be scheduled for 2 hours. It was 4.5. And I cannot imagine being in that position. So I have an unlimited amount of grace for the people who are trying to navigate this. And as I told my wife, I said, and she works in the school district. So my wife is a speech language pathologist in the school districts. And what I told her, I said, so this year's going to be a shit show. Here is the benefit you have. They know it's going to be a shit show going in, as opposed to last year when nobody had any idea this was going to happen.
Right.
It's going to be a roller coaster. We're here for a week. We're back home for 2. We're back for 4 days. Oh no, Johnny got tested positive for COVID. We don't know what's going to happen. So we just have to roll with it. So the more grace we can give to these people who are in leadership positions, for the most part, and people can read between the lines how they want. For the most part, people are in office. They want to do what's best for their constituency for the most part. And I grew up believing that. And I still do for the most part.
That is, not to go political, that is true. Whether it's for the betterment of our public safety and health or not.
Correct. I'll give a perfect example. I was not initially a huge fan of Barack Obama or Obamacare,
Mm-hmm.
but I knew when he did that legislation, I always knew he was doing what he thought was best for the country.
Mm-hmm.
And I respected that.
Yep.
Always, always, always. Whether I agree, it doesn't matter whether I agree with it or not. I respected the fact that he was doing the best for his constituency. So I look at the school board, I look at our local leaders, and I'll leave it at that. And I know
Mm-hmm.
they're doing the best they can for us.
Right. Well, and I'll say this: a friend of mine was just telling me about how the school board down here, they were having a meeting about how the kids need to be going back to school. Like they're pushing for the kids to go back to school.
Everybody is.
Yeah, public schools. The irony of that was that their meeting was over Zoom.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So if it's so safe to go back to school, then how about you guys go over there and meet in a room together and talk about it?
It's funny. So I here's what I think. I mean, this is, like I said, I think I said earlier, if we all wear masks, we all social distance, I think everything would probably be, it wouldn't be great.
In due time.
Okay.
Yeah, in due time. Yep.
My business partner, Kelsey Cunningham, she lives in Houston, and the Houston Independent School District, they pushed back their opening day for school. Said, we're not going to have in-person classes in August. It's going to be in early October. So there's going to be a 6-week period at least, where parents will have to substitute. Now we're getting into that where we were earlier, where parents are going to have to serve as teachers.
Woo.
Not only that, they're requiring parents to attend a course to learn how to teach their children.
Wow.
It's gonna get ugly, Brocky. I'm telling you.
Are they gonna have some little box when you do your taxes to get a little bit of that money back that you're paying?
Well, that's exactly what I thought too. It's like, so I pay taxes for the school district.
My own kids?
Well, and I start thinking of this. The first thing I thought of is, okay, why not have the teachers in the classroom? You say everybody stay at home, but the teachers will actually go to the school. The schools will be empty for the most part. Maybe special education goes there or not. Yeah. So, but for the majority of the class they will be on a Zoom call, and the children are required to log in and watch. I'm sorry, the rest of the world's adapted. I don't understand why the school districts don't seem to be able to do that.
They could have a 42-inch television with boxes of kids on Zoom or whatever app you want to use, and they can say, hey, Billy, what's the answer? And Billy has to pay attention, answer.
Yeah. Well, and I know it's easy for me to say that. I've got seniors, so they're fairly self-sufficient. So we've already had conversations with them. Look, if your senior year is just going to be a disaster, graduate early, work in the spring, and we'll figure it out next summer.
Yeah.
But, I can't imagine having elementary school age kids right now or middle.
Empty nester, Bill.
I know.
But I'm going to tell you, this thing is kind of trying to compromise that, because he might try to come back down here.
Better change your locks.
Studio.
You better change your locks.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, man, this is our second time doing Sippin with Brocky, man. I appreciate you, bro.
Hey, appreciate you. I love what you're doing. Keep doing that consistent content, because that audience builds over time.
Yeah, man.
And I love doing this. I mean, I do this every week.
Yeah. I hear you. I'm pushing the schedule of my next one. This will be out Friday, and I'll be sharing. The beauty about this is a real clean and easy edit. I don't have to do much.
No, there shouldn't be any editing. There should be a little bit of raw. There should be a little bit of danger. You know me, I do a lot of podcasts. I don't edit any podcast for one reason only. There should be a little bit of danger there, and I like that. I actually do like that, because people like, hey, there are going to be people who either like me or hate me on this podcast that we're doing. I don't care. I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and that's okay.
Right.
Brocky, you don't know me that well. We've spent some time together. I'm not any different than any other time we've talked.
Right.
This is who I am.
This is the same person every single time. So.
I am the same person. But that authenticity, I believe, and you're one of the most authentic people I know. And just to brag on Brocky a little bit real quick, I know we got to go. With the whole Black Lives Matter movement, I called Brocky and I said, hey, I want to talk to you about this. And we had a really good, candid conversation. It was one of those conversations. It was on the phone because we're in the midst of COVID, but man, I'd love to have hugged him afterwards, because We had such a great conversation. At least I felt we did. I think you did too. And it was just you're good people, man. You're good people, and what you do, keep doing it, please.
Keep drinking whiskey.
Keep drinking whiskey. Keep wearing Buffalo Bills hat. Keep more shoes. I need more kicks. I need more kicks.
Hey man, hey, you talking about personally? You need more kicks?
I blew up my Achilles 4 years ago skipping in Vegas, so I can't even wear shoes half the time. That's a true story, by the way.
Man. Bill Petrie, how can people reach you and your brand and everything?
You can visit us at Brandivate Marketing, just like spelled like you think it would, brandivatemarketing.com. You can email me at bill@brandivatemarketing.com, or you can find me on social anywhere, Bill Petrie, anywhere else, Petrie, and I appreciate you, Brocky.
Hey, tell them Whiskey and Kick Extension, you might get a free pen or something.
Hey, you might get one of these.
You might get one of those. I know I'm gonna get one.
I know Brocky's getting one. He's getting a T-shirt too.
Hey man, I can't wait, man. Yo, I'll talk to you soon, brother. Be good.
All right, you be good. Take care, Brocky.
All right, man.
Bye.
Later.